Hi guys, it's me, Charles Norman, here with you again from athleticsos.com and from my YouTube channel, which is PQ Sports Products. So every year I do this for point guard college basketball. It was my favorite camp, and I always come in and I try to do a review of what they're doing for any given year. So this is the one for 2016. So I'm going to go kind of quick. Normally you see me on the screen, but it's been raining out here. So I want to get this out because I just got a email from them, and the email was here saying basically that there's $100 off until March 15th. So I wanted to go ahead and get this thing out as quickly as possible. I kind of lost track of time here, so I wanted to get this out to you guys because this is my favorite basketball camp for a variety of reasons. But last year during 2015, they kind of had so many things going on that I wanted to let you guys know what was going on this year, which of the camps that you should take, and the reason why I believe you should take whichever one you're going to take. But to get the $100 off, I wanted to do it before that kind of went away. So even if you see it after the fact, this still is worth the cost. If you're going to send your kid to a basketball camp, I think Point Guard College is just the best one. And I have no affiliation with them. I don't make any money. There's no affiliate offer going on here. This is the camp I sent my daughter to, and I sent her to a couple of different camps, and this is the one that made the biggest difference. And so let's take a look this year at their schedule, because I'm kind of happy. Actually, it wasn't a schedule I wanted to do. It was their different camps. So right now what they have is the prep schools, the essentials, the Point Guard College, and game time. And so last year they had a bunch of other stuff. They kind of broke it off. I think they had like 7 or 8 different specific camps, some for shooting, some for all these other things are going on. And so I'm really glad that they kind of condensed things back down. So let's go over, if this was me, what I would be doing if I had a kid. Now, Point Guard College is the prime one. If you're going to go to anything from them, go to Point Guard College. Point Guard College is all about thinking the game. It just changes your kids' thought process while they're playing the game, and there's nothing else like it out. Nothing. So when your kid comes back, you'll see it. You won't know quite what they did, but you'll see the difference in your kid's game right away. I mean, just they're on the court, their presence, their vision of the court, the way they handle themselves, the way they move, the way they walk, their confidence. It's just a completely different game. So Point Guard College is the number one camp that I would go to. So let's talk about a couple of the other camps that they have. So Essentials is more about the physical part of the game. So I always thought, and I sent my daughter to Essentials after we went to Point Guard College. And when she came back, she said, it was kind of the same thing. They did a little bit more of your physical, how you drive to the basket, how to defend, angles, stop and go, change of pace, change of direction, seeing your teammates, setting things up, controlling the game, things like that. It wasn't so much of what Point Guard did, which more think the game. The Essentials is more of a physical part of the game. Now, we never did prep school. I'm not quite sure I would do that because it is about $795 for each of the camps. So I'm not saying don't go to prep school, but I'm saying the Essentials and the Point Guard College are the two main ones. And if you can only do one at these kind of prices, because this is kind of pricey, but all the camps are pricey right now, and I just know money's tight for a lot of people, then I would just stick with the Point Guard College. Now, game time is only available to you if you've taken either the Essentials or the Point Guard College. You have to take one of these two to go to the game time. So you would have to do one of these anyway. So the next thing you would have to think about is, at what point would I send my kid to either one of these? If my kid was in the 9th grade and was going to high school, this is the time I would send them to Essentials. So I'm assuming your kids probably played travel or club or AAU or something, and now they're getting ready to go to high school. And so they played the game a certain way. Sometimes when you're playing club and travel, somebody on the team was a star and maybe your kid didn't get to do a lot of different things. Or sometimes they just run up and down the court. There doesn't seem to be a lot of structure. It doesn't seem, you can watch the game and you can feel like, yeah, it looks like they're getting along. They know their teammates. Things are going okay. My kid's doing what they're supposed to do. But I don't feel quite right about how they're playing the game and how their movements are. And I think they could have been a little more under control, a little more focused on how to play the game the right way, the way a high school coach would see you if you're going out to try out. That's the best way to look at this. So they're going to be ninth grade. They're going to this school, and now they're going to try out. It may be for the freshman team, JV. It may be for varsity, but you should play and look and move a certain way on the court, right? You want to play and move a certain way on the court, that the coach recognizes that, yeah, this kid understands the game. And that's what I think Essentials would do for you. So if my kid's in the ninth grade, I would use Essentials. The other place I think Essentials has a great opportunity is for the kid that's not quite that tall, or is not as athletic, or not as quick, or is a little slower than some of the other kids on the court, that they have to make up for it by understanding how to move and how to position themselves and put them in the right place. I always say all athleticism really is the ability to put yourself where you want, when you want, in the position you want at any time. You're in complete control because of speed and quickness and just that ability to move your body and put it in the right position. That's what athleticism is all about. Everyone doesn't have that, but that doesn't mean you can't play the game. It just means that you're not necessarily athletic. So you're going to have to compensate. You're going to have to anticipate. You're going to have to do things a little bit ahead. You have to see things a little bit different, and you have to move your body and position yourself a little bit differently. And I think Essentials can really help in that way of playing the game. Now, once you're in the 10th grade, and if you make varsity in the 9th grade, you have to go to point guard college right after. If you're on varsity, you want to go to point guard college. Now, the reason I always say wait for the 10th grade is because that coach saw you play in the 9th grade. And even if you're on varsity, that coach saw you play in the 9th grade, and they saw some growth and they see some potential. But if you go and take point guard college after you've played high school the first year, the change will be so dramatic, everyone will notice it. And to me, you give them a little something, and then you come back and you're so improved that they recognize it right away. And that will make a big difference for you. And the coaches at the high school will think that they did this, right? They'll be going, oh, yeah, look, they played with us last year, and my teachings, look what it did to them. They came back this year ready to play. They worked a little hard on the stuff that I told them to work on, and there they go. So to me, that's kind of the way I would work it. Game time for me would be, I'm a senior. I would almost do it the same way. I would probably go my freshman year and play based on some college that wanted me if I made it to the collegiate level. I got there. Maybe I got a lot of playing time. Maybe I didn't get any playing time. Maybe I got a little playing time, but I got to work out with the team. I understand what they do and don't do. I would then go to game time and then come back. And again, you're going to see that leap forward. And again, that college coach is going to do the same thing the high school coach did. They're going to say, oh, look, they played in our program. They actually paid attention to what I was saying. They worked out over the rest of the year on their own. And now they come back and I can see the difference in them. And I think that's those sort of things you want to do. So anyway, so those are the three that I would do. Prep school, if you have the money and you have a kid that's in the 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, you think they're going to be special, go ahead. But these are the two, the Essentials and the point guard college, with point guard college being number one. And I've said the same thing year after year after year. They've really condensed down the courses, which I think is great, which means they can offer more of these courses in more areas instead of spreading things out so much amongst other camp types. Okay, and then, so what if you really can't afford this $695, $795? So the $100 off makes a big difference. So if you see this video before the 15th, by all means, go ahead and sign up. I promise you will not regret it. And I think they have some sort of insurance you can get. So just in case, I know this is pretty early in the year, which is one of the reasons they're doing this, the discount. So they do have some insurance you can get just in case something happens later on and you can't attend. So anyway, so that's all there. Come to the site. It's pgcbasketball.com. The one other thing I always try to put out there, if you can't go to the camp, or if you're, you can only go to one of them, one of the things I always tell everyone, take a look at one of the books that they sell. And I go over to Amazon and look for the same book. It's called Stuff Good Players Should Know. Now, DiVinzio is the one that put this together. Dick DiVinzio. He's the one that started Point Guard College. And he wrote this book. This is the greatest book on basketball that I've ever seen. In fact, every time when my daughter was playing, whenever we had a team at the end of the year, I always gave everybody a copy of this book. Anybody that joined our team afterwards, I would just give them a copy and all of them kept it all through their college years. Now, my daughter's done playing a few years ago, but everyone recognized the value of this book. You will use it. If you have a basketball player that really wants to play the game, they will use this book over and over again. So they're about $25 here. I see it down here. This is the same book for $19.99. So go to Amazon, might be the best place. Let's take a look and see what they sell here on their site. I think they have books and gear here. Yeah, so let's take a look here. Here it is, Stuff Good Players Play. I'm trying to see what they charge for it. It's not really on here. Let's see. Let me go to buy now. Okay, so they charged $29.95, and I think over at Amazon you can get it for as low as $19.99, and I know they have some used ones here too. So I don't think anybody's destroying the book or anything. So I did get the hard copy, the hard cover book instead of the soft, just so it doesn't get ripped up quite as easy. And there's some other books that they have too that are pretty good that he wrote also. The guy really does know how to write in a way where really you can envision what he's trying to tell you to do on the court, which is actually very difficult to do. So anyway, that's it for me. I just wanted to get this out. I try to do this every year for you guys. I'm really happy that they went back and shortened the number of courses that they're going to have. Again, make sure you look at the Point Guard College first, if you can only do one camp for the whole time, and the essentials. And I think what the $100 off is $695, and the regular price is $795. So they've stayed pretty close to their original pricing. I think my daughter went 7 or 8 years ago, and at that time it was either $495 or $595. So they've been really trying to keep the pricing down, and trying to make sure that everyone can get an opportunity to go. It still seems a little steep for me, but I'm away from it now. But at that time, it was really worth it. And from what I understand, everyone that I tell to go, and when I get feedback from it, everyone says it was the best camp they ever went to. And I'm sure there's other great camps out there, and I'm not saying they aren't, but this is the one that for basketball, male or female, this is where I would send them. And I don't care if you're a point guard or you're a forward or you're a two guard or you're a center, whatever you are, you want to go to this camp. It's just the best camp out there. It's really going to change how you play the game, think the game. And that's really what it's all about out there. It's what's going to make the difference. Yeah, physically, everyone's going to be pretty close. But if you take this course, you're going to be thinking way ahead of everybody else. And it's going to make a huge difference. The coach is going to notice, and your game's going to just elevate. So anyway, if you have the right kid, the kid that really lives and dies basketball, this is where you want to send them, Point Guard College. And thanks, guys, for listening. And go check out Athletic SOS if you guys are looking to try to get athletic scholarships. That stuff's going on right now. And then I'm going to try to put some more stuff out now that we have. I'm finished writing the code for that application. So you'll get some new stuff as we move forward. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.